Peace, everyone. Welcome back to Administration Sundays. Last episode, we audited the back end of your business. We looked at your pricing, your insurance, your paperwork, your payment process, daily operations, customer communication, and the systems you need to have ready before a real client says yes. Today, we moved into one of the areas where many people continue to struggle, finding potential clients and staying organized once you start reaching out to them. Because finding 25 pharmacies, laboratories, medical offices, senior communities, or local businesses on Google, it doesn't mean you have 25 prospects. And if you're serious about starting your courier business, having a clean and efficient way to track your prospects is critical. Staying organized from the beginning, it will save you time, prevent frustration, and keep a potential contract from slipping through the cracks. Right now, you have names of businesses, email addresses, business cards, and phone numbers just scattered across different places. You may have even called a few businesses, but you can't remember who answered, what they told you, or when you're supposed to follow back up. That's exactly what this prospect outreach tracker is designed to fix. For my members, you should already have the download link from the post I released earlier last week. If you've not downloaded it yet, use the link in the description, save your own copy, and open it so you can follow along with me. By the end of this session, you will understand what every section means, how to add qualified prospects, how to record your outreach, and how to make sure a potential opportunity doesn't disappear simply because you forgot to follow back up. Let's jump into it. When you open the workbook, you'll see two tabs at the bottom. The first tab is the actual prospect tracker. This is where you will enter and manage your potential clients. The second tab is the list and instructions. Before you start entering businesses, I want you to open the list and instruction tab. This page gives you the basic process. First, add the business. Second, identify the decision maker. Third, record every contact attempt. Fourth, schedule the next action. And fifth, review and update the tracker every single week. You will also see examples of decision maker positions for pharmacies, hospitals, laboratories, senior communities, and home care agencies. You don't need to memorize all of this. The information is here so you have something to refer to while you're researching prospects. Now let's return to the main tracker and add our first example. The first column is business name. For this example, I'm going to use a fictional business called Community Care Pharmacy. The next column is business type. When you select this cell, you'll see a drop-down menu. I'm going to choose independent pharmacy. The drop-down also includes specialty pharmacies, clinical laboratories, hospitals, medical offices, DME and supply companies, senior communities, home care agencies, veterinary hospitals, and other local businesses. Choose the category that most closely describes the business. Next is contact person. This should eventually contain the name of an actual person, not just front desk, not customer service, and not simply pharmacy. But if I haven't identified that person yet, don't just make up a name just to fill a space. Leave it blank temporarily and use the next action column to remind yourself to identify that decision maker. Next is title or position. For an independent pharmacy, I may be looking for the pharmacy owner, the pharmacy manager, the pharmacist in charge, the operations manager, or the delivery coordinator. For this example, let's say I found Angela Morris and her position is pharmacy manager. Now I can enter the phone number, her email address, and the city and service area. Only enter the contact information that you have verified. Don't fill the tracker with random email addresses that may not belong to the person you actually need to reach. The next column is lead source. This tells you how you originally found the business. Maybe you found it through a Google search, a referral, a networking event, social media, walk-in, or another source. For Community Care Pharmacy, I'm going to choose Google search. This column may not seem important today, but over time, it shows you where the best prospects are coming from. If most of your conversations are coming from referrals, that tells you something. If your walk-in visits are producing more meetings than your emails, that tells you something too. Your tracker should not only hold names, it should help you learn which outreach methods are actually moving your business forward. Now we have first contact and last contact. These dates are not the dates you found the business. These are the dates you actually attempted to contact someone. If I only added this pharmacy to my tracker today, but I haven't called, emailed, or visited yet, both contact fields should remain blank. Let's say I called the pharmacy today. I will enter today's date under first contact because this was my first attempt. I will also enter today's date under last contact because it's currently my most recent attempt. If I contact them again next week, the first contact date stays the same. I only update the last contact date. This gives me a clear history. I can see when a relationship begun and how long it's been since I last reached out. One of the biggest mistakes people make is repeatedly contacting the same businesses without recording it. Then they can't remember whether they called 2 days ago or 2 weeks ago. This is how you either follow up too aggressively or you allow a warm opportunity to go cold. The next column is status, and this is where you record the current stage of the prospect. A new lead is a business you added, but you haven't researched or contacted yet. Researching means you're still looking for the decision maker or you verifying the contact information. Contacted means you've made an initial phone call or email or visit, but there hasn't been a meaningful response yet. Follow-up needed, it means you need to contact them again. Interested, that means they have shown actual interest in learning more about your services. Meet and schedule, that means you have confirmed a conversation or an appointment. Quote requested, it means they have asked you to price specific work. Close/won, that means the prospect became a client. And close/lost, that means the opportunity is no longer active. Don't mark someone interested simply because they were polite. Send me your information does not automatically mean they're interested. Sometimes this is the only way for them to end the call. Let their actual response determine the status. For our pharmacy example, let's say the pharmacy manager asks me to email a short overview of my delivery service. I'm going to choose follow-up needed because now I have something specific to complete. The next two columns are the most important parts of this entire tracker: next follow-up and next action. Your next follow-up is the date you plan to take another step. Your next action explains exactly what the step is. Don't write something vague like check back later. Write something like email service overview and call to confirm receipt. The next action should be clear enough that when you open the tracker 3 days later, you immediately know what to do. For this example, I'm going to enter a follow-up date and I'm going to write email capability statement today, call in 3 business days. Now this pharmacy is no longer just a name sitting on a list. It has a real contact person, a current status, a follow-up date, and a specific action attached to it. That's what turns a list into a working sales system. The next column is priority, and you can choose high, medium, or low. Priority should be based on opportunity and fit, not just the size of the company. A high priority prospect may be located inside your service area, offering work that matches your vehicle and availability, currently experiencing a delivery problem, actively looking for coverage, or already communicating with you. A medium priority prospect, it may be a strong fit, but you haven't reached a decision maker yet. A low priority prospect may still be worth keeping, but the opportunity is less immediate, outside your service area, or not closely connected to your main service. Since our pharmacy manager asked for the information, I will mark this prospect as high priority. The notes column is where you record useful details from the conversation. Don't write an entire book. Record the information you will need for the next conversation. So for an example, uses one driver Monday through Friday, may need backup coverage for call-outs and Saturday deliveries, ask for insurance information and service overview. Now when I follow up, I don't have to start the conversation from the beginning. I can say, "Hi Angela, this is Courier. We spoke about possible backup delivery coverage for call-outs and Saturday orders. I wanted to confirm that you received the information I sent." That sounds more organized than calling and saying, "Do you remember me?" The final 2 columns are days since contact and follow-up alert. You don't need to type anything into these columns. They calculate automatically. Days since contact shows how many days have passed since the date you entered under the last contact. The follow-up alert, it tells you whether the next action is upcoming, due today, or overdue. If you add a business but don't enter a follow-up date, the tracker will show no date. That's a warning. It means you added the prospect but have not decided what happens next. If the day has passed, the tracker will show overdue. If the follow-up is scheduled for today, it will show due today. When you open the tracker, your first move should not always be adding more businesses. Your first move should be reviewing anything due today or overdue. There's no value in collecting 100 prospects while ignoring the 10 businesses already waiting for you to follow back up. At the top of the tracker, you're going to see 4 totals: total prospects, contacted, interested, and overdue follow-ups. These numbers update as you use the tracker. Total prospects tell you how many businesses you have entered. Contacted shows how many are currently marked with the contacted status. Interested shows how many are currently marked interested. And overdue follow-up, that shows how many follow-up dates has passed without being updated. Don't focus only on the total number of prospects. You could have 75 names and no conversations. I would rather see you build a list of 10 qualified businesses. Identify the right people, complete the outreach, and schedule the follow-ups. Don't just copy 100 companies from Google and call that progress. The purpose of the tracker is not to make the list look full. The purpose is to move qualified prospects from research to contact, from contact to conversation, and eventually from conversation to a paying client. Here's how I want you to use this moving forward. At the beginning of the week, review everything marked due today, overdue, or follow-up needed. After every call, email, or visit, update the last contact, the status, next follow-up, the next action, or any notes. Don't tell yourself you'll remember it later. Update it while the conversation is still fresh. Then, during Administration Sundays, review the entire tracker. Ask yourself, who needs a follow-up? What prospects are showing interest? Which businesses are no longer a good fit? Where am I getting stuck? And am I doing enough actual outreach, or am I spending all my time researching? This tracker should become a living document. It's not something you complete once, save inside a folder, and never open it again. Here's your assignment before Monday. Add at least 10 qualified prospects inside your service area. Don't just add 10 random businesses. Add businesses that realistically need the service you're offering. Next, identify the correct decision maker for at least 5 of those businesses. Then make sure every active prospect has either a research action, a contact action, or a follow-up action with a real date. Nothing should be sitting inside the tracker with no plan attached to it. Once you finish, come back to the comments and tell me, how many prospects did you add and what business category are you targeting first? For an example, I added 10 prospects and I'm starting with independent pharmacies. If you have a question about one of the columns, a status, or who you should contact at a particular type of business, leave that question below as well. The tracker gives you organization. Now your consistency and follow-ups are what would turn those names into real conversations. Next, we're going to take the business inside the tracker and work on the actual outreach, what to say, how to introduce your services, and how to respond when somebody tells you they already have a courier. Until next time, y'all stay safe, stay blessed, get to your hustle. Peace.